Hi, my name is Jay, and my speech is titled Food for Thought. Okay. Have you ever really stopped to think about how our leafy friends exist? How do plants manage to grow so vibrantly? Or where does the very air we breathe magically come from? It's all thanks to something called photosynthesis. It's a process where plants use sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide to produce food and oxygen. This reaction helps to keep all living things on Earth alive. Without photosynthesis, plants would not be able to produce food, and we would not be able to have the oxygen we need to breathe. It's one of the most essential cycles that keeps everything ticking along. We'll dive in more about how photosynthesis was discovered, how it works, and why it's so important to all living things. Now, let's talk about how scientists discover photosynthesis and why it matters so much to all things on Earth. Scientists like Joseph Priestley, who worked in the 1770s, and Jan Ingersoll in 1779, helped discover how photosynthesis works. I retain this information from Britannic.com. These discoveries didn't happen all at once. It took many years of careful work to understand how plants use sunlight to help life on Earth. Now that we know who helped discover photosynthesis, let's dig into the process of how plants work. Plants soak up sunlight to convert carbon dioxide and water into sugar. In this process, they release oxygen into the air. I retain this information from National Geographic. This all happens in tiny parts of the leaves called chloroplasts that hold a green pigment color, which is also known as chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is like a sponge for sunlight. It turns into energy. The sugar plants produce is what fuels other animals. So the whole food chain pretty much depends on this process. Now that we've learned about what photosynthesis is, it's clear how vital it is for life on Earth. It's how plants create food and generate oxygen, which every organism relies on. We also talked about who discovered photosynthesis, how it works inside of plants, and why it's so important to life. Without photosynthesis, there would be no oxygen, and life as we know it wouldn't even be possible.